This is our second podcast. Welcome again. If you are watching live or if you're watching later, we can still say welcome. And tonight's subject, the topic is memories or making memories.
Yeah.
And
yep.
So we'll start off with. We were just in. We just went to Las Vegas last week, and for your dad's birthday.
Yeah, we took my dad, who's 76, and decided instead of buying him a present that we would take him to Vegas. So my brother and I, we split the ticket, and my dad got us comped at the Tropicana, which was a lot of fun, and I know it made him feel good. But just creating a memory with him like that was really awesome.
Yeah, we went downtown, and what's that hotel? The gambling casino we went to?
Yeah, and I'll never forget this. First, Dave and I were married in Vegas 28 years ago.
Yes.
So every time we're there, we drive by the Little White Wedding Chapel, which always sparks a memory for us, because, gosh, you look back at our pictures, and we were so young, and the people that actually went with us, we really don't even hang around with anymore, which is kind of sad. But everyone kind of parted ways, but we always drive by there and we're like, wow, it's still exactly, the same. And for, I think it was like $68, we got married there. And you're like, it was the cheapest wedding.
Cheapest
really.
wedding ever.
So, going back down memory lane like that is really cool.
Right.
But with my dad,
Fremont Street was the original street.
Right.
Of Las Vegas.
So right? My dad hasn't probably been to Vegas in 25 years, he said.
Right.
But so we went to Fremont Street with him, and it actually chokes me up because him and my grandfather. My grandma would go to bed. Both of my grandparents are up in heaven now. So, but my dad would go with my grandfather, and my grandma and my mom would go to bed. And then they would go to the Plaza Hotel to play craps. And my dad remembers it so clear. So we were down there, and it was all the way on the other end. And he's like, oh, my dad and I used to go someplace, and we kept walking. And he goes, I think this is it. Yeah, the Plaza. And we went in it, and I'm like, wow, Dad, just think. Your dad walked these floors.
Yeah.
And played
60s,
craps.
you said, right?
Yeah, 60s, late 60s. And, what a fun memory he would play, craps. Just the two of them would go there at night. So my dad played the slot machine there, and it was the one place that he did do okay there.
But he did better if he gave that when he finally played craps.
Yeah. So we stayed there, and my dad loves Keno, and no place in Vegas has Keno anymore, so that was a bummer, except that the Plaza just brought it back like a month ago or something, they said.
Yeah, the old-fashioned Keno.
So we sat there and played Keno, and the day we left, we went back there for about 3 or 4 hours. So that was really, really cool and heartwarming to share that kind of with my dad. And then we went to the Neon Museum, which was, to me, so cool, because it's all the old signs that they could keep. They opened up this museum, and we happened to look it up, and it was a free day to go there, and it was their 5-year anniversary, and we walked in there, and
all the marquee signs, all the big billboard signs on the front of the old
and my dad was a big Stardust fan.
Yeah.
He loved the Stardust. So we took a picture of us in front of the Stardust sign, and at night they light up some of the signs. I think the guy said about 17 signs light up, but we were there during the day. And that was cool. And so we walked around there, and the Silver Slipper is there. If anybody knows Vegas. And for me, it was cool because the Riviera sign was there,
Yeah.
which when I turned 21, my mom took me as a birthday present. She had a party for me, and I think like everyone gave me $21, like in money. And my mom took me to Vegas, and we stayed at the Riviera.
Nice.
And my grandma was even there, so that was really cool because my grandma was just a hoot. My grandma. So going back to Vegas was really a cool thing.
Yeah.
To be there. They kept our money. I'm gonna be honest with you there, but we did.
That was over. I got the same feeling like your dad got about his dad because 50 years ago, my mom and dad, when we drove to California, we stopped in Vegas for one night. My sister watched us, so my mom and dad gambled at the Golden Nugget.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That we were at, and that's like 50 years ago when it was like probably like kind of
like people
more
chiming
risky back then, right?
Yeah.
And that was a good time. And then we saw the aquatic Cirque du Soleil.
Well, every time we go to Vegas, we like to see shows. We really do. And so one night we saw, my dad kind of got comped. We saw Magic Illusionist, which was really cool. And then we saw which if you've ever seen it, beautiful, fantastic.
Far out.
The person had to be tripping
somebody had to be tripping to write
because
that script.
it
makes
no sense, but it's
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's what do we say? It's just I don't know. It's wacko.
Yeah.
But beautiful.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's hard to explain.
But I think our favorite memory that we made this time, besides going with my dad, was seeing Elton John.
Yes,
Elton John was wickedly cool.
Unbelievable.
So
man. The man is he's just unbelievable. I 2 songs I honestly got, I can admit that. I got a tear in my eye.
Yeah, the Circle of Life does it for me.
It was 44 years ago that I saw him.
Yeah.
And that made me feel old, but at the same time, it's like,
cool.
you get emotional because what cool music we've gotten to listen to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's amazing. And the Circle of Life song for me does it.
That's
because,
how he ended it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Circle of Life?
The Circle of Life. Yep. Yeah. And then they show pictures of like, I don't know if it was Africa, but the giraffe and the elephants and all of that, which a memory that happened to me. I mean, making a awesome memory was last November when I went to Africa. Right. You can't even believe the feeling you get to see all the animals, and really, I will never forget it.
That's a bucket list. That's a bucket list trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we always
makes me emotional.
It's not a vacation.
It's an adventure.
An adventure, an experience, a lifetime experience. It's
everyone should go.
I didn't get to go, but I mean,
everyone should get to go one time. It should be on your bucket list. You can do other things. You can do Cape Town and not so much safaris and see one of the 7 Wonders of the World, Victoria Falls, but everyone should experience at least a 2-night, 3-day safari in their life.
And if you want to go, contact Audrey.
Oh yeah. Safariline.net.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work for the company that sells safaris, so I was lucky enough to go and travel.
It's like, and then okay, and then the whole premise tonight, the whole topic is memories, and it's like you can plan memories. You can plan memories if it's a trip, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
memories.
next year our big, that's a memory trip. It's a memory. It's the big trip for us going overseas.
Yeah, we're taking Griffin, our son, and we're doing. I think one of his friends is gonna go with, but it is going to be no matter if his friend goes or not. We're going, and we're doing a trip a piece that each of us wanna do. Griffin wants to go all over the world. I mean, our son would love
but
to.
He's always liked the English accent.
Yeah,
Ever since he was little.
So we're gonna do London for him, and then we're gonna do Paris for me, and then we're gonna do Venice because we all want to experience Venice.
City on water. Yeah.
And then we're gonna do Rome for Dave. There.
I just want to stand in that Coliseum. I bet you I could almost cry.
Yeah.
Just the feeling of knowing that you're in that Coliseum and you're looking up and Caesar was up there, thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, there were gladiators fighting lions, gladiators fighting each other. That whole concept just blows my mind. In fact, that it's thousands of years old, and it's still standing there.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
Well, hey, what about memory as a kid? I'll never forget, my mom used to sew. So
I know where this is going.
we would go on vacation, and my mom would make us all the same shirts. So we'd have, I'll never forget the red tank tops she made for all of us. And we all went, I think we went to, I'm going to say that trip might have been Wisconsin Dells, because I remember sitting on the bench with the fake Indian or something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we had red, white, and blue shorts on. And my mom made them all. So
you guys all matched.
We all had matching shirts. So
and what's so funny about that is when you were then at that point you were like, how dorky. And when you're older, you look back and you go, how touching.
Oh, right. I mean,
and what was the
probably
logic if you got lost?
Well, we all match, but my mom did a lot of, sewing my dresses and stuff like that. And back then, you're like, really? I got to wear this? I'll never forget my blue dress with turtles on it. And it had turtles, and I was in school, and the boys would always lift the girls' dresses up. Anybody,
grade school?
Yeah, they would lift the girls' dresses up, and I'll never forget somebody going, "You got flowered panties on," lifted up the dress, being crazy like that, And then, what's a good memory as a teenager, man? Oh, okay. I'm going to share a story. A good memory of why Dave's thinking. I was 15 and I had my learner's permit. So my mom was in the house and my dad said, I'll take you out driving. We'll go practice. So I'm like, okay. So my brother Mike and Bob were at home, and I go outside, and my dad and my two brothers are in the car, and they have football helmets on. And I got very upset, and I did not think it was funny because they had crash helmets on. And I remember getting all upset and them laughing, and I was devastated. I was crying. So that's like a funny but
well, that's your dad's got a great sense of humor, though.
Oh yeah,
that's why he's funny. He's funny to be around. Crazy but funny.
Oh yeah. He's definitely he's got a little bit of a wild side to him.
I remember this one time. It was like, now it's not like a memory like woo like
but
something
that
for me. I mean, I had my first car that I paid for was a 70 Camaro, and I had the spoiler in the back, which is all fiberglass. And I remember getting up in the morning, and my dad said he had a little accident. He backed out of the garage. My car was there. He ripped the spoiler off, right? I mean, and ripped the holes in my car and into the side of the car and everything. And the fiberglass was broken. And he goes, I think I can fix it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like one of those memories. I mean, but like memories have no. It's not a dollar value like on something you did fantastic. Like you spent money. I mean, like. It seems like every year that your life goes on,
you have a new memory.
It's memories because it's the little things that stick with you and mean a lot.
Oh yeah. I mean, like look at when we adopted Griffin. When the day, like I'll never forget that. It's as vivid as this. Everything is right now. When we got the phone call, he was 6 weeks early, and we were not prepared. And we got that phone call, and his birth mom said, I think something's wrong. Something's like leaking out of me. And I'm like, well, I've never had a baby, but I think that's your water. Go wake up your mom and tell her. So her giving up the baby, her mom actually took her to the hospital. She called us, and we couldn't get a plane out anyways because it was in Ohio. So it was faster for us to drive. We drove. I'll never forget you waking up and going, did I pack socks? Like, you jumped out of bed, and we're like, I call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, we're going to have a baby. You got to come and, watch the dog and stuff. And we drove there, and his birth mom did not push. She would not push until we got there. She waited 8 hours. When we pulled up, the emergency room said, leave your car here. You remember that? Yeah. Leave your car here. And the nurses ran down, brought us up, and within 15 minutes, Griffin was born because she wanted for us to be there. I mean, I can remember that, and I'm going, oh my gosh, watching the birth, going, wow, God, you had a plan for me, because that just like blew my mind how all of that happened.
Just seeing him born.
And
that's 20 years.
Yeah, I know.
20 years ago. It's
20 years. Yep.
It's like,
yep.
Yeah, your memories, I mean.
We have tons of memories with him, but, I mean, we have memories about everything. It's always fun to sit around sometimes with your parents or your friends and talk about things, or sharing childhood memories is awesome to do with your kids because they learn a lot about you and how you grew up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was lucky as a child. I mean, so were you. You guys always. My parents took us on vacation. We did lots of things. There was a lot of love and laughter, in our house.
We didn't go like on a lot of vacations, but we did do things.
Yeah.
I think one of the coolest things for me is to.
Oh, and here's Gracie.
We grew up in
hi,
a family
Gracie.
of 11.
Say hi. Hi. No. You gotta get down. Baby.
Not
get down.
Knowing we were poor.
Oh yeah, because every year
is actually a cool thing when you're older, because when you were little. You didn't even realize that you were poor. And then we got this whack-a.
Whoa!
Easy.
Come here.
Come here. And that was just a cool thing when you think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people aren't that lucky. I mean, we did ask yesterday. Grace. We asked some people to anybody actually. We asked people to send in some
Grace.
ideas, some comments of things like that, and. Like to name some of their top memories, which we just talked about, and best memory of a parent or grandparent. I never got you. That's very lucky. People don't realize how lucky you are with grandparents.
Gracie.
I never knew my grandparents. I mean, don't get me wrong.
She's crazy.
I knew.
She doesn't. She wants to sit on my lap.
I knew.
She's coming up here.
My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, but only till I was about 5 or 7.
Get down. No,
and my
come on.
Paternal grandmother, I remember a little bit.
Sit down.
But I was too little, so I never had that experience. And every child should have that experience about with spending time with your grandparents.
She will not.
Okay, great. Stop it.
She's being nuts. She's being nuts. She knows we're talking.
And some of the questions is too. What kind of memory do you want to create, like say, in the next 12 months? I mean, we said earlier we were going to go next year to Europe.
Yeah, now, planning that.
Yeah, and for me, a creation of memory or whatever like this, I want to make this podcast successful, and not successful financially, like people think right away.
Oh,
from the point of view of having fun with it, having like guests on, and having good conversations, and having more interaction online. Getting people to watch the show, right? That would be very successful for me.
Yeah, we got a lot of Facebook friends and stuff. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because you don't know how to go to www. twitch.tv,
Yeah.
.com.
I mean,
maybe you don't know how to do that, but
we put the link right on there for you. So.
And then memories. Think about that too. Like, how do you want to be remembered?
How do you want to be remembered?
How do you
Well,
wanna be
me,
remembered?
like, I mean, besides being, I think, I'm a decent person. I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
I'm
Fun.
compassionate. I think I'm, believe it or not, I might come across hard, but I'm very sensitive about things that go on, around me. So, but yeah, fun. I mean,
Yeah, you want to be. Yeah, I think that's like everybody.
I want to be.
You want to be remembered as a nice.
Not
well, you wanna be-
everybody's fun.
No, you want to
or
be remembered
funny,
as a nice
or-
person. Yeah, no, everybody's not funny. That's
No,
true, too.
no, that's not. I want to be remembered for connecting people, and
And your parties.
and our parties, because I love to. It's not like crazy party. I like to entertain people.
Right.
So there's a difference. I'm not.
Yours is not our parties that we have. And Audrey does most of the work, but it's like. It's not a sit around and
Drink
and
or
drink and just
something.
talk.
There's
it's
entertainment. It's
you're doing
entertainment.
stuff and
yeah,
games.
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything like that. It's hilarious, man.
yeah. I have a hard time just sitting around. I mean, and the funny part, we never really get to play the games because we're always doing them for our friends. When you think about it,
Right. Right. that's why
it's
when-
very rare
when someone else
when
does it.
somebody
Steve and
else.
Kim did
We
that,
yeah,
a
we
couple
just
weeks
had
ago.
we
got to
were
play.
invited to a party that actually played, and it's kind of funny because our friends, we were gone this weekend, and some of our good friends always host a Halloween party, and they didn't do it this year. And so our other friends invited some people over, and when I talked to her, she was like, "Oh, you know what? I planned the game, and I wasn't even there." So to hear like, "Oh yeah, the game," Deb said the game that you gave her the game, and it was a lot of fun to play it and stuff like that. So that was cool. We make a lot of fun memories with our friends. They're a good group. I just love them all. They are so awesome. We're so lucky to have them.
And I think that's sort of like, that's about it. I mean, it's almost about it. I mean, we're going to talk about memories, and don't ever pass
Yeah.
the chance up to make a memory.
Yeah.
And don't ever say you don't have time, because someday you won't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's so true.
That's very true.
Okay. Your
What-
parents, your friends, everybody will not be there forever, right?
Yeah.
So take the opportunity and share a memory,
And one
share a laugh.
one thing, we took this trip with my dad, and 2 years ago, I drove to Florida with my mom,
Yeah.
and because it was when we got Gracie, and we were trying to figure out a name. So my mom and I drove. It was great because we didn't have a guy in the background or a guy with us saying you can't stop here. We stopped at a gas station, and they had some slot machines, so we got to play those, and no one's saying hurry up. We took our time.
Yeah. A long trip to Florida.
Yeah, it was, but so what? So a few things I'll never forget about that was the rainbow that we saw.
Oh.
We saw a rainbow that just followed us. It was like, it wasn't following us, but it felt like it. And we were driving, and this beautiful rainbow was just there for miles and I mean, it was stunning and vivid. And then we didn't know what to name the dog, because Dave and Griffin went and got the dog when
Yeah.
I
picked
was
her up when
gone.
you were gone.
Yeah, why I was gone, and I wanted to name the dog Presley, and everyone's like, "That's a boy's name." So we couldn't think of a name, and then my mom and I were driving, and we were reading all the street names, and we passed Gracie Avenue, and I'm like, "That's it, Gracie." And so we named her Gracie May. And my mom was just driving to Florida, back to Florida, and she said, "I just passed Gracie Street." So it's kind of cool because my mom and I found, her name. So,
Nice.
it's little things that make, good memories. And, hey, don't ever forget to tell somebody that they're important and that you love them. That's really, it takes 2 seconds out of your day or to say thank you. We'll talk about that. That's one of my pet peeves. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a whole different podcast. My pet peeve.
Pet peeves. That'd be a good subject
that's
to
a good
talk
one.
about. Pet peeves, man. People should really write in about that. Pet peeves. What really ticks you
Yeah,
off, drives
what
you, pushes you
really-
to the edge.
Yeah, mine is not saying thank you
Yeah.
to people or to when you do something for somebody. It takes 2 seconds to say, "Hey, thanks. I appreciate that." That is one of my things that drive me crazy.
Well, that's
And
that's for another night. We will not be here
next week,
next week. We've got plans. It's
Dave's
somebody's
birthday. Dave's birthday, so
So we
I
got
might have
plans.
something going on for him.
So we're gonna skip next week, and we'll be back the following week, and then we'll be back with a guest. I don't think Audrey will be on that week. And like I said, memories. Take every
Share
opportunity to
yours,
make a
really.
memories
You know
and
what?
Share your memory. Yeah, you can still post to us on Facebook, right? It's
Yeah.
Dave Ritchie. It's Audrey Ritchie. You can
Yeah.
post. Find us on Facebook, and you can post what you liked and didn't like about the video, and some of your memories that you've made. And
Yeah, because it's heartwarming to read other people's memories. It
Right.
really is, and and it's good for you to think of your memories.
yeah, because life doesn't last forever.
Right.
And I know I said this in one of my videos, but it's one of my favorite sayings is, if you don't believe each day is a gift, try going without one. Huh? I know it's a little bit deep, but it's so serious. People we don't value life enough sometimes. We get too caught up with all the craziness.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
but
You're right.
and I think that's about it for tonight, folks. You guys, thank you if you
Yeah.
did watch, and thank you if you're watching this on video, because it'll be posted to YouTube, and we'll post it to Facebook. I think I've got 700 connections to Facebook, and you have over 1,000.
I have like 1,400. Yeah.
And it would be awesome to see some of those people responding to this, and let us know, because I'm going to keep doing this. We're going to keep going, and we're going to have fun with it.
Yeah,
So-
and if you have a topic or something you
yeah.
want to share, gosh, share it. It's a way for you to open up too.
Right.
So,
So
right?
you guys just
Have a great week.
have a great week, and
All right.
we'll see you later. Mwah.
Love ya.